I'm Mike Avesing. We're going to talk a little bit today about handling your rabbits and a little bit about showmanship. We did a presentation last week about caring for your rabbits, and some feedback we got on that. One of the questions we got was about treats you can give your rabbits. So we'll talk a little bit about that before we start today. As far as treats go for your rabbits, there's several things. There's commercial treats you can buy at pet stores that work fine for rabbit treats. You can give your rabbits bananas. Rabbits actually love bananas. You don't even have to peel them. Just cut a chunk of banana and give it to them. Apples, they like apples. Carrots, they like carrots. The thing you want to try and stay away from is lettuce and cabbage, basically, for your rabbits, because if the rabbits aren't used to that, it can give them diarrhea and kill them. If the rabbits are used to that, they can eat it just fine, but the best thing is just be safe, and we usually recommend don't give them lettuce or cabbage, stick with other treats, but those generally will work really well, and your rabbits will really like them. So today we're going to talk about handling your rabbits, and that involves picking it up. One of the things I always like to recommend is, especially if you're just pretty new at this, is when you do your handling of your rabbit, wear long sleeves, a shirt like this, or a sweatshirt, or whatever you got to wear, because rabbits do have toenails. Rabbits will scratch you, and it's a lot easier and protects you a lot if you have your arms covered. You can also buy commercial arm guards that you can wear, wrist guards that you can wear for handling your rabbits, and that'll help you from getting scratched too. But if rabbits will scratch you, especially if you're just new at this, and so you want to try and wear a long sleeve shirt if you can, or a jacket or something when you're working with them. First thing about handling your rabbit is picking the rabbit up. Now, the easiest way, I put my one hand under the front, one hand under the back of the rabbit, and just pick him up like that. You can also pick rabbits up by get a hold of their ears and get it by the nape of the neck, but it's easier if you can pick them up like this, because if you think about it, if you're raising a show rabbit, if you're grabbing them in the middle of the back or something like that, you're messing up that fur, and they're not going to look as good when you take them to the show table to show them. So I always put one hand under the front feet, one hand under the back feet, and just pick it up. Now it's a lot easier. This is a small rabbit. I don't have big hands for an adult, but this is a small rabbit, so it's pretty easy. If you have a Flemish giant that's as long as this carpet, it's going to be a little bit more of a challenge, but still the same way. Support their front feet, support their back feet. And if you support the weight of the rabbit, they're not going to kick. And then when you carry the rabbit, you just tuck them up against you like this, get your hand under the back end of the rabbit, kind of just pet the rabbit nightlessly, and they'll just kind of ride along as you're carrying them, because you're supporting them. If you lose that support, then they're going to get afraid that they're going to fall. They're going to start kicking, they're going to start scratching. So, support the animal, just carry it. And then when you set it down, again, the same way, I just pick them up like that. Now, if you're one of the things that, you're going to be required to do with your rabbit is, you're going to need to, you need to do an inspection of your rabbit a lot of times if you do showmanship. Talk a little bit about that too. And there are for the 4-H side of things and for the ARBA, American Rabbit Breeders Association side of things, there are no specific set rules for 4-H or for showmanship. Every state, every county does it differently. When we judge rabbits at rabbit shows, we have the standard of perfection, which tells you exactly what you're looking for in each breed. With showmanship, it's just basically up to the judge, basically up to the county, up to the state. So you need to find out what your local rules are. Sometimes, especially you're required to wear the white 4-H shirt and stuff like that, so that, it's best to, do some practice ahead of time. The more you can practice with your rabbit, the more your rabbit is used to being handled, the easier it's going to be when you do showmanship and when you handle your rabbit. One of the things I also advise you to do when you do showmanship or handle your rabbit, pick the tamest rabbit you got, sometimes the smallest rabbit. If you're only 9 years old and you're this tall, you probably don't want to pick a 25-pound Flemish giant to do your showmanship with, unless you got a super tame one. Walk you through a little bit through handling the rabbit. We'll get ready to turn them over, get a hold of their ears, just pinch the base of their ears, and you just roll them over like this. And you can take a look at the rabbit. We'll check his teeth like this. You just reach from the back. Don't want to come from the front because he might bite you. Reach from the back. Top teeth should be over the bottom teeth. You can look at the rabbit's nose. You can look at the rabbit's eyes while you're there. You can see both eyes. Each rabbit should have a defined color for their eyes. We're going to look at their front feet, check toenails, 5 toenails on the front, 4 plus a dew claw. On the back feet, there's only 4 toenails. Always a great showmanship question, especially for juniors. How many toenails does your rabbit have? And the color of the toenails is important. They need to match the standard, so you'll need to know that. When you check the sex of your rabbit, I always lay the rabbit down and support it. You just get a hold of the tail and push here at the vent. A male's going to have a penis, a doe will have an oval opening there. Also, when you get the rabbit turned over, one of the things you like to do, run your hand along the stomach to make sure you don't have any tumors or abscesses in the stomach. Kind of straighten the legs out, make sure your rabbits have straight legs. Same thing on the back legs, same thing here. Also, you need to check that tail. You can just kind of run your fingers along it. Make sure you don't have a broken tail or a tail that's set off to one side or the other. When you get your rabbit set back up, another thing we want to look at, always want to look in the ears. Make sure you don't have any ear mites or ear canker. That kind of looks like brown little scaly stuff, kind of like if you have a dog with floppy ears, they sometimes get ear mites. And then you also want to check and make sure if for the most part, most counties and states are going to require you to have a tattoo in the rabbit's left ear. So you kind of look in there and make sure the rabbit has a tattoo in there. And as far as tattoos go, there are no requirements for specific identification. Generally, you can put in the rabbit's ear whatever you want to put in there. This rabbit's tattooed WHO, WHO. Just kind of make up whatever you want to put in there. Some people are very creative at it. Some people are just put basic numbers in. I kind of tend to follow the basic number thing, put something simple in there and go on. Then after you get done with your rabbit, if you're, turn your rabbit over, if you're going to do some showmanship, you want to talk a little bit about the breed of your rabbit. What are you looking for? What's the ideal in your breed look like? One of the things I like to do for a showmanship question, especially for seniors, is I ask them, okay, if you were judging your rabbit, what would you say are the good points and the bad points of your rabbit? What would you say? Is his ears too long? Is his ears too short? Is his coat right? Is his color right? Is his body type right? Those type of things are things that you can practice on at home, you can work on at home, but the more you can handle your rabbit at home, the easier it's going to be when it comes time to get to the fair and to handle your rabbit for the showmanship and stuff. But that's it's really not a hard thing to do, especially now. There are breeds of rabbits, the checker giants, the English spots, that are running breeds that will run on the table when you get them out. They're going to be a little bit more challenging to turn over. They're going to be a little bit more challenging to do your examination of. So when you're picking your rabbits for the competition, for the 4-H show, for the FFA show, for showmanship, pick a tame one, pick one that you can work with, and work with it a bunch at home, and you'll be a lot better off. So that's basically our presentation for today, talking a little bit about showmanship and a little bit about handling. And if any of you have any questions, feel free to contact us and we'll try to get back to you with an answer. Thank you.